Welcome to another episode of Bucket List Coach Web Show Live, International Yoga Day. Well, hello. This is Cindy, your host over at Bucket List Coach Web Show Live. Jackie is in the house, but first off, let me kind of give you a backstory here. So I'm the founder of Bucket List Coach Web Show, and I actually started travel blogging many years ago. I moved to the Huntington Beach area in 2017. And then in 2018, I actually started my travel agency, Bucket List Coach Travel and Tours. And last year, I got the proclamation for the founder of National Bucket List Day. And if you go to huntingtonbeachbucketlist.com, you could actually see all these amazing things. It was food, exercise, anything you want to do here in the Huntington Beach area. And you can learn all about Jackie as well, because there is a blurb there about her yoga business. So, International Yoga Day. How are you going to celebrate?
Well, I've already started celebrating. I started with a 6 a.m. hot yoga class, and my morning workout starts out with early 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. yoga every day. So today is the first full day of summer, International Yoga Day. It is a beautiful summer day. I mean, my day has begun.
So let's talk about your business, how you got started.
Well, I'm a therapist by trade. I'm a LCSW. And what I wanted to do, the way that I came into holistic health and wellness was during my education, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Yes. And one of the best things that happened to me, I wouldn't have known it then, but I see it very clearly over the years, is I was introduced to yoga through a retreat for breast cancer survivors. Wow. And I learned a little bit about how to manage emotions, pain, physicality, just kind of touch the surface, and also nutrition through that retreat. And as I was going through my education to be a therapist, I kept thinking, I want to be able to bring trauma-informed yoga to my clients. So I moved forward and became a certified yoga teacher during all of this. And then I learned about what yoga to me really is. So I see yoga as a small letter Y. A lot of people just think about what we call asanas, the movements, the postures, which is absolutely a huge part of yoga. And then I learned about the capital Y yoga, which are 8 limbs of yoga and a lot of lifestyle changes and modifications to really live my best life and to be able to share that with others.
Hold on one second. I keep on getting messages on the Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to pop off for a minute. I'm going to share this in a couple groups and kind of talk about your current program and where it's held and all the hours and everything like that. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, so I'm talking here. So I work full-time in the medical field. I work for Optum, where I'm a palliative social worker. I still bring the practice of yoga to my patients and their family members. And then I work with a lot of students and individuals teaching yoga. The blessing for me is I have the opportunity every Saturday and Sunday to teach yoga downtown Huntington Beach. So on Saturdays, I teach a class at Farquhar Park, which is on Main between 11th and 12th. It's the park without the playground. And my class is at 9:30, and I've designed the class to be for everybody and everybody. So whether you practice yoga regularly or it's your first time, second time, you're welcome and you will feel comfortable. We also have a children's teacher. So if you have young children, you're welcome to bring them. And this is all donation based, so it's accessible to everybody. And it's an hour class, fabulous class, every Saturday, Farquhar Park at 9:30. And then Sundays, I teach at the Shorebreak Hotel. Wow. This is a 9 o'clock class, and it's open to the community as well as the guests. And again, same style of teaching, because I want everybody to to be able to receive yoga and not be afraid of it, not think, oh, it's just for size 2 people in spandex. No, no, no. It's for everybody. And it changes your way of approaching things. It's definitely, without being said, good, great for your body, your mobility, and it's just great for your mind.
Yeah, and it actually helps a lot with your mindset. And I
Mhm.
don't know if I told you that my mom got diagnosed with leukemia last year. She's had dementia for quite a few years, and she got diagnosed with Lewy body dementia about 4 years ago.
Mhm.
And I was on a weight loss journey or weight release journey. And then when she got the leukemia and just all the responsibilities as a caregiver has been really tough. And even over the last couple of weeks, I had to change different appointments, throughout the week to talk to her caregivers and her doctors and all that stuff. So that at one point was getting really hard because I would feed my body with food. And of
Mm.
course, I'm a podcaster and food and foodie person, so I like to pay it forward to local restaurants and stuff like that. But my thing
Sure.
right now is just to have everything in moderation. I'm actually eating smaller meals. I'm cheating maybe like once a month. I have like one glass of wine a month, so I'm definitely keeping myself accountable. And yoga definitely needs to be a part of that. And I do have a lot of ailments and stuff like that. And I did take a yoga class, I'd say maybe about 5 years ago. And when I was living, in a different area of California. And the problem was I just couldn't move my body much. So,
Right.
what is your best advice for someone who's getting back into yoga?
Sure. Well, first I want to say to you, Cindy, I remember we first met was when your mom had been diagnosed with the dementia. But and so we've come a long way. I didn't realize about the diagnosis of leukemia. You are exactly the patient that I work with in my office, with Optum, with my medical practice, because a lot of our patients have dementia, later stages of dementia, and I spend a lot of time with the family member, yourself, the
Oh,
caregiver,
wow. Okay.
ones
Yeah.
who are dealing with all that. And I bring, again, the yoga perspective. And it's not necessarily doing the asanas, the movements, although I have a few that I give them, but it's using your breath to manage anxiety. And I have a video I'll
Exactly.
share it with you, and then you can post that. But it's using the breath. It's also, I have 5 pillars of holistic wellness that I live by and I share with others. Nutrition being the first. Obviously, things like being more plant forward, not becoming a vegan. I'm not suggesting that unless that's something somebody wants, but being more plant forward, more natural, unprocessed foods. That's a start because it's not just nourishing your body, it's nourishing your mind. Whatever you put in your body, it's going throughout. You're a whole person, it's your whole self. Hydration. You can see maybe my water, I drink about a gallon, sometimes more a day, unless a person
Good.
has a
Yeah.
health issue that maybe a heart disease, they're not supposed to have that much water. For everybody, some people try to measure based on their weight and all that. I'm not into all that. Let's keep it simple. Drink a gallon a day. It's good for you. Um, I also practice personally, and I teach this intermittent fasting. Not skipping breakfast is not a fast. A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I don't eat until noon." No, no, there's more to it than that. That's a great start for some. There's different types of fasting, which I teach in some of my workshops.
Yes.
And then the next thing that I look at, Cindy, and this is going to meet you where you are, is movement. Movement for me, obviously, primarily is yoga based, but that's not the only movement. Taking a walk, riding a bicycle, doing housework, that's movement. So I don't want to discount anything. Some people think, oh, I don't have time. I don't have the money. I don't have
Well,
the
you have
resources.
to make the time. Yeah, because
Right.
time and money is always an excuse. You have to make the time, and that's
Right.
where I'm at right now. Yeah.
Right. We all have the same
Yeah.
24 hours a day. We get to choose how we use them.
Yes.
So, and things like using core strength, again, yoga builds a lot of that core strength. You've got to hold up your body a whole long time. And building your core is one of the principles that you need. My focus is also on mindfulness, being here. I'm with you 100%. I'm sitting in my office space, but none of that matters because I am here with you and with your audience 100% right now. Be where your feet are. That's part of mindfulness. I'm not thinking about what am I doing later. Doesn't matter what I'm doing later because I'm here.
Yes.
Practicing non-judgment. oh, I should have done this. I don't mean judging other people. I mean judging ourselves.
Yourself, yes.
All of
So,
these things play into our physical and mental and our spiritual health. Sleep. This is a big one. I used to always say, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll sleep
wait,
when I'm
yeah,
dead.
that's what I say all the time. I'll sleep when I
Yeah,
die. Yeah.
don't say it anymore because you're killing yourself early by not sleeping. It's not lack of sleep is associated with a whole plethora of health issues, as well as dementia is part of it, but it's also
Mhm.
associated with weight gain. So do yourself a favor, cut off everything at a certain time, whatever that time is, but allow yourself 6 to 8 hours of sleep. And I know it sounds like, nah, I don't have that time. Yes, you do. You need that. And that's going to fuel you to keep doing what you're doing in a healthy way so that you're not going to burn out. I use sleep. I use breath work for sleep. Some people have a hard time falling asleep. I've got a magic pill, but it's not a pill for that. I use breath work for that. And also
Okay.
sleep hygiene. Is your room cool enough, warm enough? Is it quiet enough? Is it dark enough? There's a lot of things that go with sleep hygiene, including rituals. And then my last pillars. So these are my pillars of holistic health and wellness. The last pillar is inspiration and fun. I'm
Mhm.
having fun being here, so that checks off that. I had fun being in my yoga class. I sometimes will connect with somebody that inspires me, that meets that space. And so keeping in mind all of those things again, nutrition, movement, mindfulness, sleep, inspiration and fun, those are the 5 pillars that I live by and I share because that's the core of good health and a healthy lifestyle.
I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Sure. And that was a lot.
Yeah, so that with me, what I've been doing though is cutting gluten out of my diet, very low sugar, and like I said,
Mhm,
only drink like one glass of wine a month,
mhm,
and no pastas or anything like that. It's hard for me being Mexican because I love the tacos, but I
mhm.
have supplements that I'm taking, and of course, one of my favorite things to do is watch Jeopardy. So my ritual is after Jeopardy, I take a 40-minute walk. So that's my
Awesome.
big thing there. Yes, let me
Awesome.
see here.
What I
So
do when I go to a Mexican restaurant for chips and salsa, I ask them to slice the cucumbers. It's crunchy. I dip it in my salsa. It's healthy. There you
oh,
go.
wow. Okay.
Mhm.
See if I find information on your business here. So this is the huntingtonbeachbucketlist.com. And let me just get down here to you. Okay. Let me get down here somewhere.
And I can add my flyers. I'll send my flyers to you if you want to post them or
Yes.
add them to the page. I have the 2 flyers for the Farcore Park Yoga as well as the Shorebreak Hotel Yoga. And then I also have
Mhm.
a flyer for people that are interested in my coaching program, the 5 pillars of holistic health. I can do that in a small group. I can work that individually. I can do that
Mhm.
in a bit larger group. When it's a larger group, maybe a group of friends want to go through the program together. I have a 3 month and a 6 month. Um, I keep my group to no more than 10 because it requires a lot of individualized, attention and involvement and interaction. Oh, there's my flyer. I recognize that.
There it is. Yes. And of course, I want to do a shout out to Rocket McKinnon over at McKinnon Surf and Sup Lessons. So if you want to learn to surf, or actually if you want to get in better shape, surfing is really good for your core. And he
Mhm.
also does paddleboarding as well. So definitely something you need to implement. Because I know for me at 80 years old, I want to be enjoying a nice vacation somewhere in Costa
Mhm.
Rica at a yoga retreat or something like that. I don't want to be
Yes.
in a nursing home confined to a bed for the rest of my life. So there is ways if you have parents or loved ones that have been diagnosed with dementia, you could actually break that cycle. So for
Absolutely.
me, the one big tip that I want to give, I actually had another friend on my podcast on Wednesday, and we talked about the value of reading labels. So read labels. I don't even go to mainstream, like I don't want to say the mainstream grocery stores, but I will say that I go to Trader Joe's. That's where I exclusively shop, and it's just so important to read labels. And it's fun to create experiences. Here in our city of Huntington Beach, there's so many great restaurants, but you can do everything in moderation, have lower portions, and although we all love tacos, find a way to enjoy a taco another way without
Mhm.
having sour cream and cheese and all that stuff. There's still ways that
Right.
you can enjoy it. or maybe
Minimum.
have tacos twice a month instead of 4 times a month, on every Taco Tuesday. But there's ways you could work around all that because you don't want to be depressed or sad because you have this new lifestyle. You still want it to make it work for yourself.
Exactly. And you said something earlier. I cheat once in a while. I'm going to help you with something if you're open. It's a mindset. When you say cheating, you're cheating on yourself. That's not okay. I have choices. So
Yes.
you choose to have wine once a month or twice a month or whatever that is. You choose to have a piece of cake or a whole cake once in a while. I don't call it cheating because that's bad. That's just like such a negative connotation. My son, sometimes I'm mostly plant forward. I don't consume dairy. That has a lot to do with breast cancer. And, there's some things about my health that I made decisions. But my son, even after all these years, and it's been 8 years, he'll say, "Oh, can you have that?" And I look at him and I say, "Baby, I can have anything I want. I'm just choosing not to have that." Because
Yes.
if I want a steak and a baked potato with sour cream and all the things, I can have that. I'm a big girl. I can make my own choices. I just
Mhm.
choose not to, and I'm not feeling deprived in any way, shape, or form.
Well, for me, when I eat those types of foods, my body is telling me, like if I have anything, like for instance, a friend of mine gave me a German cake the other day, and the frosting was so thick, and I had just a few bites of it, and I really don't even crave that much sugar anymore. I mean,
Right.
I
Oh,
do
good.
like certain things, like the wine and everything, but I
Yeah.
don't like the big hefty, frosting cakes or anything like that, or soda. It just all about training your mind what you need to have because you need to think of, especially if you have loved ones who are in, convalescent care, you need to think it, 20, 30 years down the line. Do you want to be in that same place or are you going to make the change? So
Right.
connecting with someone like Jacque is really crucial because she'll help you overcome those barriers. So just like I mentioned earlier with Rocky McKinnon, he's taken me surfing a couple times. I am absolutely terrified of the water, but he got me out there and he got me comfortable. So same thing with Jacque. If you're afraid of yoga, maybe you're afraid you're going to hurt or you're going to do something that that doesn't feel very good for your body, you're consulting with a professional here who knows what she knows, and she's very confident in being able to help you create those goals and accomplish those goals. Super crucial. Jody McKay. Hello, Jody, over at the Artisan Fair.
Jody.
Big shout out. I'm usually there about once a month with my travel agency. So just big shout out to her. And anything else you'd like to add?
Well, yeah, you were talking about not ending up in a nursing home, and here's something that I'm really a big proponent of. I definitely want a long lifespan, absolutely, and I want a long health span. Remember what I do for my full-time job? I work in palliative medicine. I see people in my care that have a lot of health issues that have debilitated them. Many of them were lifestyle choices. Not all. Some things are hereditary, but I think a lot of people will say, "Oh, all of my family members have this, therefore I will." And they just give in to the beast. And I don't believe in that. I'm all about you take your health in your own hands. I don't care what's hereditary. You still take your health in your own hands because I want to live 80, even 90. I have some amazing patients. I just had a woman in here who's 102. 102. She's starting that decline, but she's pretty spicy at 102. I want to be spicy. I want to be sassy. And by the things that I put in my body, which is food and drink, the things I put on my body could be topicals, lotions, things like that,
Mhm.
and the people that I associate with. Part of how I honor my body is who I spend my time with. I don't need unhealthy relationships. And, part of that, some of it's habitual. We get used to being in the same situation. So you can break those chains. You can break those habits and create new habits and new rituals. And I'm all about it. And that's part of what I'm coaching. But again, my goal is just to really meet people where they are, not where I think they should be, but where they want to
Mhm.
be. And we set out a plan to accomplish that.
And I talk about this on this podcast and also the Entrepreneur podcast, how important it is to surround yourself with the correct people. You want to
Mhm.
surround yourself by people who celebrate you. You want
Yeah.
to surround yourself with people who are building you up. And especially on social media, you'll see people post negative. So those people who are posting negative on my Facebook page are no longer in my space, because
Out.
the 5 people that you surround yourself with, that's who you become. If you hang
Absolutely.
out with people who have more than you, like for my agency, when I started my agency in 2018, I had 2 agents. I have close to 70 agents now, because I was surrounding myself by the right people
Mhm.
and living a more abundant life. And another thing one of my guests talked about on Wednesday is a lot of people go on vacation to fix their relationship, if they're in a relationship, or to fix themselves. And
Right.
truthfully, you
We're
have to work on you first before you even take a vacation, because you're not going to enjoy the vacation if you're not focused on you and working on at least 1 or 2 days where you work on your me time.
Wherever you go, there you are. So it's okay if you're going to go to improve, but not because that's the only place you can improve. Sometimes it's good to get away from the dishes and the to-dos and all that, but there's got to be a lot of intention there and things that you can bring back home, things that you can practice daily. And I love that you've cut out the negative people. I don't even notice negative posts in my feed. They may be there, but my focus is so much on good and positive. If they're there, I'm not even seeing it. So, and that's how, we put out into the universe what we want, not what we don't want. If we think, I don't want this to happen, I don't want that, that's what you're attracting. So
Mm-hmm.
instead, we attract what we think about, what we want. And that's been my goal. I recently had a huge exam when I became licensed as a social worker at LCSW. And a lot of people were like, well, what if you don't pass in their circles? And what if this? And I said, if you're going to what if, because a lot of people, what if it's cancer? What if it's not?
Or what if
If
it doesn't work? Yes.
Yes. So here's what I say. If you're going to what if the best possible scenario? So I said, what if when I take this exam, I have the best score that's ever been had in the history of this exam? What if, right? Instead of what if I don't pass? What if I fail? No, no, no. And that lifts you up. What if when you get a call from somebody you're not used to receiving a call from, instead of thinking it's just doom and gloom, what if they're telling me that we just won the lottery? I don't know. I'm just picking anything. But my point
Yeah.
is, yeah, not always going to be the positive news that you're hoping for. But why spend energy on something negative that hasn't even happened?
Well, the big thing that I hear sometimes is, I don't have the money, or I'm broke, whatever the case may be. But if you're constantly telling yourself you're broke, you'll always be broke. So
Mhm.
whatever you're telling your subconscious mind, it's training to that mode. So we do need to go. I actually have a call coming up here in a few minutes. So really quickly, at the end of the show, I always talk about how will you pay it forward to a random stranger, or maybe even a small business owner here in Huntington Beach.
For me, I can
Yes,
tell you
we
that
do.
right off the bat. I'm very open about having had breast cancer. I'm very open about the journey, the details of it. If somebody wants to know, they're not bad, horrible things. The way that I pay it forward is because I'm open. I have people consistently reaching out to me with some type of cancer diagnoses, and I'm able to mentor them through, kind of bridge some of those fears. Again, some of those fears that may or may not ever happen, and
Yes.
it's been an honor and a blessing to be able to do that continuously, including some of the women in my recent yoga classes. So I'll keep doing that because that's an area that I'm experienced in personally. I'm experienced in educationally, professionally, and it has my passion.
And I'll kind of piggyback on that. I don't know if you know some of my backstory. I ended up getting endometriosis and then a hysterectomy. So if there's any women here who are going through either a hysterectomy or endometriosis, please reach out to me. I could share my story on how powerful your story can turn into even a bigger story and success in your business, because it all starts from the mindset. And do shout out to your yoga company, and we'll go out.
All right. Thank you.
What's your yoga company? Go ahead and give the shout
Oh,
out again.
oh, you were asking me to give a shout out.
Yes.
So, Jacque Ruddy Holistic Health and Wellness. Everything is under my name, Jacque Ruddy. So if you Google me, you'll see my story about overcoming poverty and getting to where I am, including going to USC with no money. And you'll see a little bit about the holistic, opportunities that you can find a partner with me. And, I'm always open for a 20-minute free consultation.
Well, there you
Jacque
go.
Ruddy.
I'm going to pop you in the green room, and everyone make sure that you stay tuned at bucketlistcoachtravel.com. I'm going to be working on a surf and yoga retreat for the Orange County area for next year. And it's my 60th birthday year. So I want to do some really great things. And of course, my power partner, Jackie here, we're going to work on an amazing event here locally that you really need to be a part of. We'll see you just on the other side.
We're twins. I'm going to be 62.
Awesome. All righty.
Bye.